Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a plunge into Fanbase. It's a platform that seems to be really changing the game for how creators build and, well, monetize their audiences.
hmm
Our mission here, for you listening, is to basically pull out the most useful bits from our research, give you a clear map for understanding how Fanbase works, especially for, turning content directly into cash.
That's exactly it. We're going to distill the really critical insights. It's not just what Fanbase offers, but sort of why its specific ways of making money and its different content tools are, well, making waves.
Right.
We'll definitely spend some time on the audio features too, looking at how they work, obviously, but also the best ways to actually succeed using them.
Okay, let's unpack this then. The big question first. How do you actually make money on Fanbase? You mentioned it's unique.
It is, yeah. It's kind of a clever mix, really. There are two main ways, love and subscriptions.
Love, okay.
Yeah, love. Think of it as Fanbase's own digital currency. Each love token is worth half a U.S. penny,
Half a penny, got it.
and fans can send it really easily. Just a single tap on a post sends one love. Or they can press and hold for big love that's like 100, 500, even 1,000 loves at once.
Wow.
What's interesting here, I think, isn't just that it's flexible, but it kind of lowers the bar for fans to show support?
Yeah, like small tips.
Exactly.
Hmm.
It encourages these frequent, small gestures that can really add up for the creator. It shifts things from just passive viewing to like active support. And love can also be used to unlock specific exclusive posts, which gives fans another option besides just subscribing.
Okay, so that's love. What's the other part? Subscriptions.
Right, subscriptions. That's more like your traditional backstage pass
Yeah.
model. Access to all of a creator's exclusive content.
Hmm?
And the creators set their own price. It could be anything from $2.99 a month up to, I believe, $99.99 a month. They set it up right in the app with just a few taps.
So you get recurring income that way.
Exactly. It's great for building that reliable revenue and fostering a community around your most dedicated fans and premium stuff.
So it sounds like as a creator, you've got this really interesting control. You can decide this post is public, free for everyone, or this one is exclusive.
Precisely.
And that exclusive content can be accessed either by subscribers or someone could just unlock that one piece with love.
That's the flexibility. It lets you cater to different levels of fandom.
Yeah.
The casual fan might drop some love. The super fan subscribes. It feels very geared towards empowering the creator.
Definitely. Okay, so we know how the money works, but you need content first, right?
Yeah.
What are the tools Fanbase gives creators to actually make stuff?
Yeah, and this is where it gets really interesting because they offer quite a range. It's a pretty comprehensive set of tools, actually.
Okay.
So you've got your main feed. That's for your standard images and videos, up to a minute long. Good for regular updates.
Like Instagram feed posts, basically.
Sort of, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then there are stories. Again, pretty familiar format, 60-second images or videos. They disappear after 24 hours.
Yeah.
Quick, engaging snippets. You can make these unlockable with love, too, for exclusive little peeks. For real-time stuff, there's live. That lets you stream video and audio, interact with your audience through chat. Pretty standard live feature.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's flicks. These are short-form videos, a bit longer, up to 2 minutes, often more polished, maybe with creative edits, music overlays. Think TikTok or Reels. Good for grabbing attention.
Okay, flick us. 2 minutes.
Yeah. And if you're into longer, more produced content, there's FB Plus. That's Fanbase Plus. It supports horizontal video, high quality, up to 2 hours long.
2 hours. Wow.
So perfect for things like documentaries, full interviews, maybe more cinematic projects.
Okay.
And finally, the one we mentioned earlier, Fanbase Audio. This lets you host live audio-only rooms for conversations, discussions, panels, that sort of thing.
So 6 different ways then. Main feed, stories, live, flicks, FB Plus off, and Fanbase audio. That's quite a toolkit all in one place.
It really is. It lets creators mix things up, keep content fresh, use different formats for different goals, maybe flicks for discovery, FB Plus for deep dives, audio for community chat.
Yeah, it seems like you could build a whole strategy just within the app.
Definitely.
Okay, you mentioned fan-based audio, and audio seems to be huge right now. Let's zoom in on that a bit more. How does the earning part work specifically inside those audio rooms?
Right. So Fanbase Audio basically takes the platform's main monetization, love, and subscriptions and integrates it right into the live audio experience.
Oh, okay.
So one way is you can receive love directly while you're speaking on stage. People in the audience can just tap to send you love as appreciation. That's like real-time tipping or applause.
Nice.
You can also earn love if you've made the entire room exclusive and someone pays love to unlock access and enter it.
Gotcha.
And of course, the subscription model applies too. Users might need to be subscribed to you to even get into your exclusive audio rooms in the first place. So that drives subscription value.
Makes sense. It's consistent with the rest of the platform. Now, what about managing these rooms? I imagine you need different roles, right, to keep things organized.
Absolutely. Understanding the roles is pretty crucial for making sure the conversations run smoothly and positively. There are essentially 4 distinct roles.
4 roles. Okay.
First, you have the master moderator, or MM. This is usually the person who created the room. They have, like, complete control.
The boss.
Pretty much, yeah. They can assign other moderators. They can invite people up to speak on stage, mute people, remove people, and they can even transfer the MM role itself to someone else if they need to leave or hand over.
Okay. MM. Got it. What's next?
Then you have just the moderator, or M. The MM can appoint these. Moderators have basic controls. They can invite users on stage, mute them, move them back to the audience. You can have several moderators in a room, which is helpful for bigger discussions.
Right. Sharing the load.
Exactly. Then you have a stage participant, or SP. This is simply someone from the audience who's been brought up on stage to speak.
Yeah.
They don't have any room control powers. They're just there to contribute to the conversation.
Okay, so they're speakers.
Correct. And finally, you have the audience participant, or AP.
Right.
That's everyone else in the room who's just listening.
Listeners.
Yeah. But what's really neat here is how easily an AP can become an SP. They can use a raise hand feature to signal they want to speak, or a moderator or the MM can just invite them up. The tech seems pretty smooth for that transition, which keeps things dynamic.
That structure sounds really important for, managing potentially large live chats.
It's vital.
Okay, so keeping those rules in mind, let's shift to best practices. If you're a creator wanting to use Fanbase audio effectively, how do you set yourself up for success? Preparation makes perfect, right?
Absolutely. Preparation is key, especially for hosting. Let's break it down. First, technical considerations. This might sound basic, but using a decent quality microphone makes a huge difference.
Yeah, bad audio is a killer.
Totally.
Yeah.
Clear audio builds trust. It makes it feel more intimate, like you're really there. Also, make sure you have a stable internet connection. Dropouts are really disruptive in a live setting. And use headphones.
Yeah.
Seriously. This prevents that awful feedback and echo you sometimes hear. It just makes the whole thing sound much more professional.
Good technical basics. What else?
Your profile setup matters too. Before you even host a room, make sure your Fanbase profile is complete. Clear profile picture, a good bio explaining who you are, maybe have at least a few pieces of other content posted already. It builds credibility. People are more likely to trust and engage in your audio room if they see you're established on the platform.
Right, shows are serious.
Exactly. Then for the hosting specifics, try sticking to a regular schedule for your rooms if you can. Consistency helps build an audience that knows when to tune in.
Like a regular showtime.
Precisely. Choose topics that are compelling, things people actually want to discuss. When you go to create the room, plan to start the process maybe 5 minutes before you intend to go live, just to iron out any last-minute tech checks or settings.
Good tip.
Think ahead about how you'll moderate. What are the vibes you want? How will you handle disagreements? And definitely promote your room beforehand. Share the link on your other social media. Let people know when you'll be live.
That all makes a lot of sense for hosts, connecting the tech and the strategy. But what about the actual interaction? How should participants behave, and how should moderators keep the conversation flowing well?
Right. Etiquette and moderation are crucial for the actual experience inside the room. For general etiquette, for everyone, the big things are try to stay on topic, respect the theme of the room, avoid dominating the conversation, let others speak.
Don't hug the mic.
Exactly. And respect privacy. Don't share personal info about yourself or others without explicit consent. Seems obvious, but important in a live setting. Now, for the moderators and master moderators, your job is to facilitate. Set clear rules for the room, maybe mention them at the beginning, and enforce them consistently and fairly. Manage the speakers, keep an eye on who's been waiting with their hand raised. Try to give everyone a chance.
Keep things moving.
Yeah, and be ready to handle disruptions. If someone's being inappropriate or off topic, don't hesitate to move them back to the audience or use the mute function. Keep the environment positive.
Okay. And what about improving over time?
That's key too. Feedback and improvement. Ask your listeners and speakers for feedback after the room, or maybe during. What did they like? What could be better? Be open to adapting your style, your topics, based on what your audience responds to. It's an ongoing process.
That covers hosting and moderating pretty well. What about tips for people just joining or participating in rooms? Maybe they're new to the platform.
Good question. For participating in rooms, the core thing is respect. Be considerate of the host, the moderators, and other speakers. Use that raise hand feature if you want to speak. Don't just unmute and jump in unless that's the established culture of the room.
Wait your turn.
Right. And definitely mute your microphone when you're not actively speaking. Background noise can be really distracting for everyone else. Try to engage actively when you do speak, add value, ask thoughtful questions, contribute positively.
Good listener, good participant. And for just finding rooms to join.
Yeah, for joining rooms, explore. Check out different rooms on various topics to find what interests you. Follow users whose rooms or contributions you enjoy. You'll often get notified when they start a new room or hop on stage somewhere.
Notifications help.
They do. And always take a second to read the room description, if there is one, before you jump in. It usually tells you the topic and maybe specific rules so you know what to expect and if it's a good fit for you.
Makes sense. So pulling this all together, what does this focus on audio, the roles, the best practices? What does it all mean for building a community on Fanbase?
I think it really underscores the importance of community building through active, genuine engagement. It's not just about broadcasting, it's about connecting. So engage with others in rooms, respond to comments, make real connections. Try to build a positive little micro community around your interests or your profile. Collaboration is powerful too. Maybe team up with another creator to co-host a room, or make a point of participating thoughtfully in other relevant discussions. It expands your reach, introduces you to new people.
Right, network effect.
Exactly. And underpinning all of this is safety. Remember to use the reporting tools if you see inappropriate behavior or content. Report it to Fanbase. And don't hesitate to use the block feature if someone is making you uncomfortable. Keeping the space safe is everyone's responsibility, but especially the platforms and the hosts.
Wow, okay. That was definitely a deep dive. We've really unpacked a lot there. Fanbase's mix of this love currency and subscriptions for monetization, the sheer variety of content tools, and especially these detailed audio room features, it really does seem built to give creators direct control.
It really does. And I think connecting this to the bigger picture, understanding these kinds of mechanics, the monetization, the tools, the best practices for engagement, it's just crucial if you want to succeed in the creator economy today. Fanbase seems to be offering a pretty unique pathway for building and monetizing that direct fan relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. So for you listening, here's something to maybe chew on. How might these specific features we talked about, like a dedicated digital currency like love, or these structured roles within live audio, how might these things fundamentally change the way creators build those really close, direct relationships with their audience? Could this be a model that really moves things away from just ads and unlocks totally new ways to earn online in the future?